Good morning and welcome to another vlog. Today you join me from my back garden again. Today comes as the second wave of the 3-week lockdown happens, so we're now going to be into 6 weeks of lockdown. But the weather's out, the weather's really nice. We're in the back garden, we're just sort of relaxing with my family, my children are here. And yeah, just enjoying what we can. Work has been especially busy for me, so this is one of my only days off I've had since the lockdowns happened. Transport and haulage were now classed as one of the key workers, and that's been absolutely chaotic. The office, as you've seen by the start of this video, it's very minimal. A lot of people working from home. I haven't got that luxury. I've got to go into work and sort of manage the team there. So yeah, very difficult times within work. Minimal staff, yet much more busy. All the industrial and the manufacturing side of the business, that's completely closed down, but the retail, so we deliver all the products into all the retail outlets or your major supermarkets and all your convenience stores, that's completely ramped up, as you can imagine, obviously with the original panic buying of everything else. So yeah, volumes are massive within the transport world. And yeah, we're doing everything we can to try and get those goods out to you as fast as we can, but yeah, bear with us is probably the message from there. Okay, so for any photographer, the biggest expense you're going to get is the actual camera body. This is obviously going to take the image for you, as it would. So I've got two examples in front of me. These are both my cameras, the 7200 and the D810. Two very different cameras. This one being the first of the sort of semi-enthusiastic going on to pro level camera, really. The images I've got from this have been absolutely fantastic. I've taken some horrendous ones, but I really learnt my stuff with this camera. This has been the old faithful. It's never let me down. It's been dropped, it's been in water, it's been in conditions you shouldn't really put these cameras, and it's served me well. It's also got the additional battery grip on the bottom as well. So I paid about £700 for the camera originally. The battery grip was about another £150 used. Both of the items are used. And then with the 7200mm lens on the front of this as well, I think this was about another £500 when I purchased it. The D810 is my new purchase. I've had this one just over 12 months now, and again I bought this used. I paid £1,100 for it. Now, for the quality that this camera does, it's not got the mod cons that the 850's got or the new mirrorless cameras have got, but to get out there and actually take a decent quality image with a decent resolution, and I think it's 36.2 megapixels on this, so it's a massive sensor on it. The image quality is phenomenal. You can zoom right in, you can crop as much as you like, and it gets you out of a lot of situations where you've either underexposed, overexposed, and just generally mess the shot up. This can generally bring it back. Phenomenal camera, and again, bomb proof. I've never had to clean the sensor on this, even though I was swapping between my two main lenses. It's just been an amazing camera. I'd thoroughly recommend the D810. I know there's much newer cameras out there, I know there's much higher tech, but for the actual image quality, I don't think you can get much better than the D810. Now, clearly both of these cameras are Nikon, and the reason why I chose Nikon was because the first camera I purchased was Nikon. It wasn't a difference in image quality, it wasn't a difference in brand quality or anything like that. Nikon and Canon, I think, are pretty much the same level. Canon bring a lens out, Nikon will bring a lens out. If Canon bring a particular camera out, Nikon will follow, and vice versa. So yeah, you're either Canon or Nikon. Whether a changeover, probably not. I'm happy enough with what I've got, really, but it's no preference to the brand at all. It's just what I'm used to. So as I mentioned with the D810, I've got two lenses I mainly use, which is my 24-70 and then also my 70-200. They're both f2.8 and have proved amazing lenses at the moment. I've only had them both for about 6 months. The 24-70 cost about £1,000, and so did the 70-200. Like I said, they're both 2.8. so they really give quite a decent amount of bokeh, if that's the sort of style you're looking for, and then go up to, I think it's f/16 for both of them, and they really give a good clear image. Now f/14 I find is the best, certainly for landscape photography, if you want to get the foreground or the background in focus. But when I've focus stacked these, boy, they are sharp as anything. If you focus right on the foreground, midground, and then background as well, yeah, they just give the image just what I'm looking for. So yeah, 2 lenses. The only problem with the 7200, it's a little bit heavy when I'm doing handheld. Certainly if I'm shooting with the kids, or I'm going off to Alton Park to shoot the track days there, it can be a little bit heavy after a full day shooting. But yeah, small price to pay, certainly with the image quality I get from both of these. Okay, let's talk tripods. So I've got 2 of my examples here. I've got the Manfrotto, and I've got the 3-legged thing, the Leo here. So the Manfrotto was purchased after I had a bit of an accident with my previous tripod. I run it over with a car. But yeah, so I purchased this one, and it cost about £150. I think it was £150 on the nose. Absolutely fantastic tripod. So steady, it's so sturdy, it's unbelievable. The only issue with it, because it's so sturdy and it's not made out of carbon fibre, it's made out of alloy, it's a little bit heavy, or it's too heavy to really be lugging around, certainly when you're going hiking or cycling. And one of the things I love about it is the sturdiness. A couple of vlogs I did when I was filming in the water with my waders on. This was in fast flowing water, anchored down onto the base of the riverbed, and it never moved. So I was doing long exposures with it and everything was fine. All the images came out sharp. Same on windy days. I've never had a condition where this has actually failed on me, as in blowing in the wind. It's always been super steady and super firm. It's just the fact it's a little bit heavy and a little bit tall when it's folded down completely. But yeah, that's the Manfrotto. I've also got a 3-legged thing, the Leo, which I purchased just before I went to Slovenia. Now the reason why I purchased this is because I was going to do a lot of walking over there, obviously with travel as well on the aeroplane. I just wanted something a little bit light, something that would fold up a little bit smaller, and it does do that. It's quite a good tripod as respect of it's lightweight, it's portable, it's small, it folds up into pretty much nothing. But the only issue I've got, it's not as sturdy. Certainly when you've been with something like the Manfrotto and you move on to the Leo, yeah, you've got to work around it. The Leo was £350, but that was used. That was a pre-owned one, or a pre-demonstration one, and the Manfrotto was £150. Now with the Leo, I also bought the bracket as well for the D810, the L bracket. Now I was never understood those L brackets until I bought one. The L bracket was a further £80, I think, and that just slips onto the top, and you just twist your camera each way, depending on whether you want landscape or portrait, and it's so much easier. Just clicks on, clicks off. Yeah, that's certainly worth its money. So let's talk filters. The filters I use are the Lee filters. I've only got a couple of these. So I've got the 10-stop filter for long exposure, and I've also got a 0.6 stop grad filter as well. I tend not to, is it 6? Yeah, oh no, 0.9. Yeah, sorry, 0.9 medium grad filter. I use the long exposure probably less now than I ever have done. When I first started photography, I really wanted that smooth water look and the way the clouds are, the movement in the clouds and things, and this is one way to certainly do it. Now it's quite expensive really for what it is. It's just a piece of glass that sits in front of the camera, and it allows you to slow the shutter speed down to practically nothing. I think with the D810, with it being ISO 64, in bright sunshine I can get it down to almost around about 30-second exposure. So when we start getting into blue hour and stuff, it starts going into the multiple minutes of up to sort of 10 minutes, etc. So yeah, with that you get a really long exposure image, which is great for what a certain type of look. But I think it's one of those fashions that are dying out a little bit. And what I tend to do now is try and reduce it down to get around about ½ second exposure, certainly on moving water, to just give a bit of movement in the water, but not completely smooth it out. Certainly look at buying a polarizing filter first. This one was around about £80. and yeah, it's used all the time. There's very rarely a time when I'll actually take this off. So yeah, polarizing filters a must. Okay, let's talk drones. Now, drones for me are a love-hate thing. Yeah, so this is the DJI Mavic Pro 1, the first one that came out. And this was the, I think, the daddy of really how drones could be. And the image quality on this, yeah, I find absolutely fantastic. It shoots in 4K, I think it's up to 60 frames a second, but I generally use this just to get a little bit of B-roll, so I tend to shoot in 1080p. This cost me about, I think it's £1,100. It's the Fly More option with the additional batteries and a few other accessories. Would I purchase one again? No. The reason being is I actually don't like flying it. I think they're a bit of a nuisance. I think they disrupt the surroundings. Although these sort of get out and really get shots that you can't get from any other camera on the ground. I don't know, I'm a real mixed emotion for it. I don't like flying them because it's a really strange feeling that once the drone is up in the air, you're actually controlling something that's up to 400 foot in the sky. It says you should always keep visual on it. Now, if you're staring at it for a while in a bright sky, the slightest blink and you lose it. It's strange. You can still stay in the same location, but for me, it takes me a little bit of time to sort of refocus and understand whereabouts it is. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange feeling flying one of these things, but on the flip side of this, the image quality and the places that these things can get is just second to none. So it's still in my arsenal. I've not sold it, I've not got rid of it yet. This is actually my second drone I've owned. The first one is still in a tree in North Yorkshire. Now I was flying it across a lake, and as I turned, the sun hit the sensor on the front, and I think it got confused and it broke. And as it broke, I went to try and move it forwards, but hit the wrong position and went backwards into a tree, and it's still stuck up there. My mistake completely, but yeah, an expensive hobby to have. So yeah, £1,100 times 2. So yeah, this is probably one of the most expensive purchases I've had, and it's not the most loved thing I've ever had. Like I say, it's a bit of a risk owning one, and plus the amount of laws that are coming in now, the amount of issues we've got with flying these things. Everywhere I go, I'll get mixed sort of response to it. Some people will come across and really want to know what it does, how much it was, and whether you can get one, etc. And other people are just completely against it, and I can understand it with the buzzing noise. They can be quite loud, but yeah, I don't think it's any louder than the next door but one's jet wash currently. But hey, yeah, each to their own. Yeah, drones, love them, hate them. Yeah, I'm a little bit in between with those. So the recording setup I have for doing my YouTube videos is quite a simple one, really. I did start with having the 7200 on a tripod and mic and all that sort of stuff set up, but it became a little bit too heavy. It was just such an awkward thing to carry around with my D810 tripod, my D7200 tripod lenses, etc. It was just a killer of a weight, so I opted for the Osmo Action, which is the thing I'm recording to you now. That with a well, I've just been using the only internal microphone up until today, which I'm used to using my Rode mic, which I originally purchased, which I've never really used. I don't think the quality of it is superb. I think with the Osmo Action, apart from unless it's a windy day, the inbuilt microphone is good enough to use, certainly on what I want it to be used for. So yeah, the Osmo Action is the camera I use. That was about £350. Well and truly worth it. It's probably the best purchase I've ever had. You can do time lapse on it, you can do slow-mo, you can record up to 4K up to 60 frames a second with the rock steady motion in it as well. So it's similar to a GoPro. It pretty much works the same way, but yeah, I went for the DJI Osmo Action. So yeah, that's my recording setup. Quite simple, quite light, and it's also connected to a Benro tripod as well, which is great for the still shots, great for the time lapse, and also great for doing the actual vlog with as well. I can't fault it at all. Just low light conditions are probably a little bit tricky. It gets a little bit grainy, but yeah, that's the only downside to it. Well and truly worth it. this is how much it costs to go out and actually do some landscape photography, and how much it costs to actually go out and do YouTube videos and try and bring it all together. So I've just done a quick tally up of everything, including the down to the ring adapters for each of the filters, all of the little accessories I've got, including gimbals and things like that. So the total cost here is around about £8,000. Now, I've also not included the price of the computer as well, and that was a couple of thousand upwards, so it was more like £3,000 the computer I used to process the images and also do the video as well. So yeah, when you take into consideration that, it's touching £11,000. Yeah, and what do I get from this? Do I get any financial benefit from this? Have I got this money back? No, this has cost me £11,000 out of my own money to go out there and do images. Now, this also doesn't include fuel costs, travel, hotel accommodation, anything like that as well. So also, I mean, when you consider a full tank of fuel, or certainly half a tank of fuel to get me across to North Wales and back, yeah, extremely expensive hobby. Now, you can get rid of all of this. You don't need any of this to start off with landscape photography. All you need is a basic setup, basic lens, a camera that's got an interchangeable lens, and just build up from there. And that's all I've done. Over the past 3 years or 4 years it's taken to get this gear. I've bought, I've sold, I've replaced and things like that. So don't be put off by the £11,000 or certainly the £8,000 you see here. Ignore that. All you need is a cheap camera, around about £300, another couple of £100 on a lens, 500 quid, a couple of SD cards, and you're on your way. That's your basics. That's all you need to really be a landscape photographer. The rest of it are just luxuries. The rest of it is just to try and fine-tune that detail, and that's all it is. Yeah, I'm a little bit shocked myself that I've actually spent this sort of money on this gear, but yeah, I guess that's the way that we develop in our hobbies. Yeah, so there we go. Quick insight into what's in my bag, the gear I've got, and everything else. So I hope you enjoyed it. Again, it's another different video. We're trying to make videos. I've seen all the YouTubers that are out there making fantastic content from home. I just thought it's time that you sort of saw what was in my bag and everything else. So hope you've enjoyed it. It's a little bit different. Hopefully we'll be out soon, all out doing photography again, and yeah, doing what we really want to do. Yeah, strange times, but I'm sure we're all getting through it. I'm sure we're getting through it as best as we can. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please check out my other videos where I'm actually out on location shooting and using some of this gear as well. So yeah, give me the old thumbs up, subscribe if you've not already done so. I've just touched my 400th subscription in 12 months, so I'm absolutely delighted with that. So thank you for everyone's support throughout this time. Thank you for everybody's comments and everything else. So it's been absolutely fantastic, and that's probably where this £10,000 goes, is yeah, the appreciation for what you guys are actually feeding back to me. So again, thank you very much. Keep tuned, more to come, and yeah, see you again real soon. Bye now.